Blink, blink, ding, bling. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ling, 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 ding, 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 a ling, 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 a ding, diddling, ding, ding, diddling, ding, ding, diddling, ding, ding. Dink, 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 ding, ding, dink, dink.
Welcome to Ho Yeah Podcast. Amy?
Jackie.
People?
Everyone.
We did it!
We did it. Did we do it? Yes, we did. And what is it that you are asking? You're like, what are you even talking about? Get ready.
Oh, sit down. Sit down right now. We're about to tell you. Everyone, we got Kathy Najimy. We got her.
Oh, God.
On this episode that you're listening to. It's happening. It's this one. We got her.
We got her, and we just finished talking to her, and it was incredible. Of course. What else would it have been?
I don't know.
What a absolutely lovely human. What just so incredibly kind and generous. And let me explain how this even began, how this started.
How did this happen? You're probably how?
Yeah. How did we get superstar Kathy Najimy on here? Well, let me tell you. Jackie and I have a friend, Alexa. Mm-hmm. We've known her since high school, me since middle school. And Alexa, stop.
Oh, shit. Not you.
God, frickin' Amazon. Always listening. Anyway,
you're going to get ads for Kathy Najimy now.
Perfect. That's fine with me.
Yeah,
so
that is fine
our
with
friend Alexa gave us an incredible gift of a Cameo, which if you're not sure what Cameo is, it's an app, and it's where celebrities, you can pay a fee to have a celebrity do a shout out to a friend or a family member, say happy birthday, whatever you're asking them to do and they're willing to do. You pay them a fee and they will send it to you. Apparently, Kathy is on it, and Alexa booked her. Oh. So, okay, I'm going to have to start whispering Alexa because my fucking Alexa can hear me. Okay. So Alexa booked her to give our podcast a shout out. And Alexa told her, of course, that we are huge Peggy Hill fans. The name of our podcast is Ho Yeah, named after Peggy. She's fave character. Mm-hmm. And I get a phone call from Alexa last Friday at about midnight telling me that she's going to send me a link and you better watch it. So I open it up and it's a cameo from Kathy freaking Najimy saying hello and hi to us, and that, we'll play it for you so you can hear the whole thing. But towards the end, she says, I'm going to give y'all a gift. And can I do 5 minutes on your podcast? We collectively lost our minds, of course. And we got in touch with her assistant and we set it up and we just did it. This is Thursday. So not even a week later, we were able to speak with Kathy, and it was incredible. So with that said, we do want to play you the audio of the cameo. So get ready.
I saw her face and I was like, this is already amazing. And then when she got to the part at the end saying, I'll give you a gift, I'll do 5 minutes on your podcast. By that point, my body fully contorted into a pretzel. my spine snapped in half and I just bent in half. I watched it at 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I got this text from Amy and it was incredible. But so.
Just wait till you hear it. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
There's a surprise coming for Amy and Jackie from their really good friend Alexa, who's a huge fan of their podcast. And they really, really, really are smart enough to know that the best character on there is Peggy Hill. Hi, you guys. It's me, Kathy. Oh my God, Alexa loves you so much. She says she's known you since high school. I just graduated from high school 7 years ago. Stop laughing. And they say that you have a rocking, fantastic, hilarious podcast. I can't wait to hear. And your podcast is called Oh Yeah. That was an improv one day that just stuck. I love that you love Peggy Hill. King of the Hill. I've had many jobs in my little life, and King of the Hill is up there, is in the top 2. So well written, such a great fun cast. Brilliant writers, great cast. So wonderful because I got the job right after I had my daughter Samia, so I didn't have to fly out of town or wake up at 5 a.m. But I'm really like a writing snob, and that is such good writing, so you have really, really good taste. I guess I'm going to give you a gift, which is, can I do 5 minutes on your podcast? All right, darlings. I love that you love Peggy. And again, I'm just going to say to you, oh yeah.
Can you even believe? Can you even believe that?
No.
Absolutely incredible. So kind, so
generous.
sweet, so generous.
There's no reason for, she's just so kind.
Yes. So listen, with that said, I know y'all want to get to this and you want to hear it. So we're going to play that in just a moment here, and then we will see you on the other side. Okay? Get ready.
See you then. Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Hello, Miss Najimy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Are you getting a picture or just a circle?
We're not seeing you at all. It's just the audio.
Oh, I see you. Hi, beautiful women.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is such a treat and an honor.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Tell me how you got started and why it's called Oh Yeah, and how it's doing.
I would love to. I've been a King of the Hill fan for a long time, and Jackie as well. And one day I was rewatching it again for the millionth time, and I thought I would love to do a podcast about King of the Hill. I hadn't seen any, I hadn't heard of any, just kind of being able to talk about it, and the love for it. And I mentioned it on an Instagram story, and Jackie messaged me and she said, let me be a guest. And I said, please be my co-host, because Jackie and I have known each other for at least 15 years and super good friends, and she's absolutely hilarious. So I thought this would be a perfect combo.
Were you
go
a King
ahead.
of the Hill fan as well?
I was. I watched it over and over for years, and then I hadn't watched it for a while, so I was like, oh, it would be fun to rewatch it again, although the idea of a podcast seemed very overwhelming, and I didn't think that Amy or we would follow through with it. And then and then she just kept pushing me, and then we eventually did it. And we were trying to come up with names, and all the names were centered around Peggy quotes, and I was like, oh, we could call it Podcast and Meatballs or something. And then Amy was like, oh, well, I was thinking Oh Yeah. And I was like, oh, of course, obviously.
Yeah. It's such an amazing exclamation from Peggy, and I think it's kind of one of her iconic lines. And of course I love Peggy, so I thought it has to be something that deals with Peggy, and I thought that would be the great one. That would be a good one.
Well, I think it's a great choice. When I heard about it, I was so honored. I was like, are you kidding me? That sounds good. How long have you been doing the podcast?
We started in August, and it's been amazing. I think that we really tapped it at the right time, because King of the Hill started to get played on Hulu a lot. And so people were kind of rediscovering it or discovering it for the first time and really loving it. And we were able to get in contact with his Instagram is the Arlen Bystander, and he has a massive amount of followers, and he gave us a shout out, and people were just super excited to find a podcast that centered around King of the Hill.
Wait, who did you say did you reach out to? I lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry. So his podcast, or I'm sorry, his Instagram is called the Arlen Bystander.
Who are we talking about, my love?
His name is Patrick. His name is Pat, and he runs a King of the Hill fan account for on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, I have to follow him. That's so great. Is your podcast on Instagram as well?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. And that's where we get such amazing feedback and interaction with fans of King of the Hill. They're just so excited about being able to talk to somebody about King of the Hill that it's just such a great community.
I got to tell you. Well, listen, I'm going to let you ask me the questions because you guys are the experts.
Absolutely.
No, so you mentioned in your amazing video, your cameo that we received, that "Oh yeah" was an improv. Like you just kind of threw it out there, I guess, one day and it stuck. Is that something that you guys did often?
I believe it was. That the great thing about that writer's room where they were so confident and so talented, so extraordinary, that they were very open to us improvising or suggesting things. That it was really the best group. I've done a lot of little projects in my life. It was the best group of writers I've ever worked with. They were so great. So I don't know if it's Bible, but I think, because we got to improvise a lot, but I think I improvised it. But if a writer from King of the Hill is listening right now, don't sue me. I'm not sure. But it's really I'm a complainer. And it's one of the best jobs I've ever had. Here's what I loved about it. First of all, on the being, selfish part, I like that there's no hair, no makeup, no wardrobe, no 6 a.m. calls, no traveling on planes, none of that, no line memorizing, all the things that are not my favorite things about acting.
Mm-hmm.
So you just came, we were all really good friends. Pam and I had our first babies within months of each other.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're still friends. And we just were all so close. We saw each other twice a week for 13 years. And everybody, and I know people say this a lot, but I don't. Everybody was so good. Everybody was so good. Stephen Root, Pam Adlon, Toby Huss, Johnny Hardwick, of course, Mike Judge, Brittany, God bless her soul, Brecken Meyer, Ashley, they all were, Gardner, they were all so great. And then the funny part was we'd come in and we all could look like shit because we didn't have to be on camera. So we would just come in with our kids. There was a great green room with tons of donuts, which is always very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And we would bring our kids, so that was really wonderful because I auditioned for King of the Hill 9 months pregnant.
Oh,
wow.
So yeah. So that's another reason. And I heard later about some of the people who auditioned, some really great actresses. I couldn't even believe it when I heard some of the names. It was one of the luckiest things that's ever happened to me. But we would just come in and we would do, and here's the other thing. I am a writing snob. People say, what do you like better? Films, TV, Broadway? And I say, it just depends what script is better. I love good writing. And you guys, every Monday for close to 13 or 14 years, we would get a script on our front door and it would be better than the next one and the next one and the next one. And I'm here to tell you that is really rare. Good writing is really hard to find. So I loved that job so much. People say, oh, are they going to bring Hocus Pocus back? Are you going to bring this back? Are they going to bring Sister Act back and all that? And I say, all I would probably say yes to immediately is if they brought King of the Hill back.
Oh, there's a lot of people who are gunning for that. All the fans want it bad.
It's a hot top. It comes up a lot.
Yeah.
You guys tweet and Instagram and do all those things you guys know how to do, but I'm not very good at. Come on.
Everyone, go now. Do it.
Right now. You've heard it
Do
from
it.
Kathy Najimy.
Yes.
Come on. Fox, it doesn't have to be at Fox. It'd be lovely if it was, but people are moving their content, which is another word of the week, all over to so many different platforms. There's another new word.
But yeah, whatever platform, somebody out there pick it up.
Yeah.
It was, oh God, I love that job. All right, ask me questions. I'm talking too much.
No.
You are definitely not. Jackie?
Well, we know that we only have you for a short amount of time. So, of course, I'm drawing a blank, but you kind of already answered one of our questions, talking about would you ever consider doing a reboot? And
Yeah.
and I know that you have talked. I actually just listened to your the episode of RuPaul's podcast that you were on. I just listened to that, and I know that you mentioned the writing and how good that was. So, but what were some of our other questions, Amy?
Yeah, so I actually have a question about your inspiration for Peggy's voice, because it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. We talk about it almost every episode about how you're like the way that you bring life to Peggy is just so beautifully done, especially, and this is kind of weird, but when Peggy screams, we just love it.
Yes.
And I mentioned, I was like, man, she would have an amazing metal singing voice.
Funny.
Yes.
So was there any
Oh, wait,
kind
I
of...
lost it. Can you hear? Go here. Now I hear you, honey.
Okay, great. I was going to ask, was there any kind of inspiration for Peggy, or did it just come to you organically?
That's a really good question. So here I am living in Los Angeles. I'm in New York now for the last like 8 or 9 years, but we were in LA for a very long time. I'm in LA, pregnant, and my voiceover agent, Jeff Danis and Natanya Rose, who to this day I still owe so much to for this gig. But he called and said, we've got a lot of people going out for this. It's a cartoon. I know you're really pregnant, but can you go audition? I said, yes. So I drove to Sony with my big belly and my little Mustang convertible. And I went to a bungalow in the back, and there were Mike and Greg Daniels, both geniuses. Mm-hmm. And they had a little pencil sketch of Peggy up on the wall, just taped up on the wall, just her face, or maybe it was her body. And they turned away from me and they said, just talk, just improvise. So I looked at her and I just started saying, I am a substitute teacher. I also teach at Sunday school. I love my husband. I love my son. I don't know what I talked about. And I just was improvising about being a teacher. That was really fun. And being a writer. I loved that they gave her the musings column. That was so fun. So I just improvised, and then I went home, and then the next day my agent called and said, can you go for a callback? And I said, I can't. My water's about to break.
Oh my God.
And I was so sad about it because I thought, oh my God, this sounds like such a great job. And I didn't go, and they had callbacks on Monday, and Tuesday he called me and said, it didn't matter. You didn't go back. You got the job.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that the greatest bit of fortuitous luck in the world?
That's man, you were very pregnant when you did your first audition.
Yeah. When I did my first audition, I was very pregnant. And then they started creating it. And then I had her, and then I got to bring her to work twice a week.
Wow. I can't imagine anyone else in that role, though. I mean, Peggy is just one of the best characters ever, and it's mainly just through your vocal work. It's incredible.
Definitely.
And I agree. Here's what I like about how they designed her. She's so flawed, which is really human. Like and a lot of times in both live action and in animation, they'll draw a character. It'll be the mean one, the funny one, the nice one, the ridiculous one, the dumb one, the shy one. And we all know that at every moment, all of us are all of that. We're all of that.
Right.
We're all simultaneously all of those things. So that they wrote her with so much confidence and so flawed, was so brilliant, so great to play. Like, it was all there in the stories for me. It was just easy because she had so much confidence that I'm not sure why, but that was such a great platform to jump off of. Now, I just love that nobody was everything every time. Everybody was so well-rounded and ridiculous and wise and sympathetic and not. I have to go in a minute, but tell me your 2 favorite episodes.
Oh my God. Okay. Off the top of my head, I do love Dances with Dogs, of course, just because I love a ladybird. heavy episode, but a Peggy episode, one that we actually just reviewed it, and it was Peggy's Turtle Song. And it's just such a good, it's a nice feminist episode without
with Ani
being
DeFranco.
with Ani
Yeah, Ani
DeFranco,
DeFranco.
but not super feminist, but it was just enough to like give Peggy a little bit of an edge in that episode.
You know, I love that. And I also think, like, I don't know, like some writers are just dead set on everything ahead of time. And they knew that I'm a feminist activist first before I'm an actor. And so they knew that. And when we'd have discussions about scripts, I would be the one that would pop out and say, like, can we relook at this? Because it seems like the female characters, or we had a real talk about the spanking episode. I had some real hesitations about that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really great about it. Like, it just was there was so much respect, which is really lacking in a lot of show business. But so, yeah, when they wrote that turtle episode, that was so moving to me. And, you know, to have Ani DeFranco. And you guys, here's the thing. We never knew. We would show up Wednesday and Friday, so Fridays were the days that we recorded. So Fridays were the week, I forget which ones, but we would show up and there would be, you know, Brad Pitt and Ben Stiller and Meryl Streep and Jennifer Aniston and all these guests that we had no idea they were coming. I mean, there was like a huge star every single morning. Mm-hmm. So, wait, what were we talking about? Oh, Ani DeFranco. So when Ani DeFranco was there, I just lost my ass. I was so excited. That was a great. And, you know, sometimes I go out and I do speaking engagements and stuff, and I sign photos, and I have my two specific Peggy photos are the Bigfoot, the high heel, the Bigfoot picture, and the Turtle Song picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Those were, oh God, that was so much fun.
We're just so grateful. I know you have to go, but we're so grateful that you came on, and you are iconic, just in a million different ways, not just because you've made Peggy this amazing character, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. There was no reason for you to do this, and it's very, very kind and generous.
I admire you so much. Like, I always talk about a podcast, but you guys literally got up, you got the thing, you've got the mics in front of you, you got an audience. You should be so proud that you did this. I know how hard it is to have an idea. Everyone has a million ideas, but congratulations for doing it and like having followers. I'm so in awe of that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy Najimy.
That is
sure, darling.
We're done. We're shutting it all down after this now.
Yes, we're burning our laptops and moving to the mountains.
But wait, let's end it like this. Ready? Oh, wait. I wanted to tell you my two favorite episodes. One of my favorite episodes was when she jumped out of a plane and broke all of her bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I asked if I could record it laying on the floor because I said she's not moving and she's in a cast, and they let me. So they dropped the mic down to the floor, and I got to record the whole episode laying down, which was
brilliant.
So fun. I think I just wanted to freaking lay down. And I loved the Mexico episode. I thought that was so well written.
Yes. The one where she brings Lupe back from Mexico.
She loses the student. Yeah. I mean, so great. And then we're going to leave with this. First of all, congratulations. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for being fans. I hope you guys can like galvanize and get us back in front of those mics, because I think we all would say yes. But I just want to leave you with this. Ready?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Stay safe.
Woo! Oh, wow, Jack. Wow.
There it is.
There it is. Could not have been more generous and easy to talk to.
That was wonderful. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, where else, as we said, where else do we go from here? We're just going to have to burn it down. Sorry, everyone, but this is it. We peaked. We've peaked. Not even a year in, and we have peaked. We got to go.
I thought we might, maybe get Kathy Najimy or Mike Judge or Toby Huss or Stephen Root. I thought we might get them maybe once we started the 10th season.
Right. And after years of just being like, please, will you come on here?
Yes. And I was comfortable with that idea.
Right.
So in my mind, we had a lot of time to fuck up and grow and to get all the weirdness out of our system. But it happened sooner than we expected. And it is an unexpected pleasure. And it was amazing. I mean, this is somebody who is, I think I screamed it at Kathy Najimy, but she's iconic. I mean, I used to ride around my living room on a vacuum because of her.
Yep.
Like with a blanket tied around my neck.
God, so awesome. And, again, just couldn't have been kinder and easier to talk to. So we are so thrilled and honored. And in preparation for this episode, because we wanted to, we knew that we had a short amount of time with her, which she went over that time. And it was, oh my God, we're so thankful for that. But some things I wanted to mention from the interview is that, she mentioned that she is absolutely down for a revival. Like she wants it to happen. So y'all heard her. Go out there, tweet it up, at it up. I don't know if that's a thing. Just like start hitting up some maybe Hulu, maybe somebody. Start Netflix something. And let's get a revival going. And it was nice to hear how accommodating that job sounded. I mean, she said that the next day they asked her to come back again, but her water was about to break. So she went there on the verge of giving birth to audition and still had her child and was able to, they accommodated her new mom schedule, which, I'm not a mother, but I have friends who are mothers, and seeing like what chaos it can be to have a newborn baby and also a job. That's just such a great thing to hear about how accommodating and understanding the entire writing cast and directors seem to be.
And interested in her input as not just as a creative, an artist, which she is, an actor, but as a feminist and an activist. And you could really see her influence. Now that we talked to her, you could really see her influence in the show and in Peggy. And I mean, if we thought Peggy was awesome before, it really highlights why Peggy is so amazing. A big part of that is Kathy.
Right.
A testament to her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do, again, I also love that she acknowledged, Peggy's flawed. She's got flaws. She's got obscene amounts of confidence, but she's also flawed. And that's what makes her such a well-rounded character. And I think that, people tend to forget that there's multitudes to people. Everybody contains multitudes. We're not just one thing all the time. So it's really great to hear her say that and kind of validate what we've been saying.
Yeah. And the great thing about Peggy too is that everyone talks about, oh, she's so confident, she's overconfident. But I think really that's a common thing you see in people that are, actually insecure. They're just overcompensating for their insecurities. And so it doesn't totally make sense to me when people complain like she's too confident. This is a common thing that you see in people that she's a strong person, but she has insecurities and she's constantly trying to grow and be better, but she's a human. I mean, she's a cartoon, but she's a human. She's a person.
She's a human cartoon, okay?
Yeah. Just because she's a cartoon doesn't mean she's not a real person, which she is.
Yeah. Exactly. I loved that she got to lay down on the floor to record when she's supposed to be in the full body cast. How inspired is that? How smart is that? Because when you're lying down, you do sound a little bit different because all your skin's like pulled back and like you've got a little bit more weight on your neck. So I love that.
I'm sure it affects your resonance.
Yeah. I thought, God, that's brilliant.
I had to stop myself from asking her, did you get to eat potato chips while you were lying on the floor? Because that sounds like a perfect job to me.
take a little nappy nap. She probably needed one. I mean, she had a young toddler at that point.
Oh, and then she moved to New York a few years later, which is just so cool.
I know. How cool. How
Very
cool is
cool.
she? God. So, in preparation of this and in anticipation of this mini interview we had with Kathy, we asked on our Instagram, which is Ho Yeah Pod. We always ask for listener comments. If you're just joining us because of this interview, we always we're very active on our Instagram. It's Ho Yeah Pod, and we always ask for listener comments in regards to whatever episode we're reviewing at that time, and we always get some really great ones. But we asked, what are some fave Peggy moments, episodes, quotes? What do you got for us? And we just posted this, and we already got a bunch, so we know people are pretty excited about talking about Peg.
Well, right off the bat, and I can't believe I didn't mention it, and I'm relieved that I didn't mention it, but from A Million Little Carters, vagina! So good. I love that line.
Talk about another iconic Peggy quote. Not just ho yeah, then vagina.
Yeah.
Probably top two. We had a couple of people. So we got Mozzie C137, Hooligan Newport, both said along the lines of, anytime she references common knowledge as her opinion.
Yeah. I love that.
I know.
And I was trying to think of this episode because we just watched it for the most recent live watch party. Mm-hmm. But from Flex Brojas, the entirety of the episode where she gets revenge on con artist Jeff Goldblum. I was trying to think of that episode, and I love it. It's such a good... There's so many twists and turns, and she's up, she's down, and just when you think she's down and out, it turns out she was in control the whole time.
Yeah, like even willing to steal this bastard's car.
Yeah.
She was gonna steal his fucking car, and I love that. Peggy will stop at nothing to get what she's owed. Love Applemint says, I like Peggy pulling her lips back like a shark to eat the sandwich. And that's in another one of my favorite Peggy episodes. It's the episode where she befriends the drag queen. She's not aware that they're a drag queen, and the drag queen thinks that she's a drag queen, and it's such a good episode. And yes, there's this up close of Peggy's mouth just like going really wide and her lips just going back, and all you see are her teeth, and she just honks down on a sandwich. It's awesome.
Thunder Muffin submitted Luann Quarters. I heard myself. You okay? Oh no. I'm no Kathy Najimy.
Well, nobody is. I love that. I love that episode. I love Peggy just getting hammered and hitting homers. It's funny. We got two comments that were just talking about, they're talking about the spanking episode that Kathy was like, I had some reservations about it, which I love that she mentioned that because, yeah, it's kind of a controversial episode, spanking, and especially spanking in schools. Like that's,
yeah,
personally, no. But we have two people, Underkid 22 and Bender's Redemption, both says paddle and peg.
Yeah.
Right Dude here and SH Nabes, Gurman Bozia for dinner, and Daggins Daniels all talk about Lupe's revenge, the episode where she accidentally brings back Lupe, which is great because Kathy said that's one of her favorites. And everybody mentions the courtroom scene where Peggy is trying to defend herself in Spanish, and she just annihilates the language. She does such a bad job. She does a terrible job. Brad 5133 says the Smush films. Oh yeah.
AP7ill or April just said post-coital Peggy.
Yes.
That
I love
hair.
I know. She looks so satisfied. I love it. Lotus Flower says when she's jealous of Bobby's cooking and steals his turkey to go to the her hairdresser. Oh, it's such a desperate moment for her. She is so desperate.
I don't understand this. Martin of the Waking Universe submitted, I have too many good anuses ahead of me to spend my life in a cigar factory. What's that from?
That's from the courtroom scene when she's speaking. When she's speaking her botched ass Spanish.
Oh, that's good. Melissa Mannon, Peggy and that god dang paper mache pair.
I know. Some tribe, anytime her confidence / delusion is front and center. Brock, I love Doris Shellman. And App 7 Ill says, and the king of all moments, when she came out of the river with those glorious boobs.
Oh.
She looked good.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's the first time you really see Peggy, like, sexy, you know? She was specifically drawn not to be sexy, and so it's the first time you, like, see her figure and titties.
And Hank notices.
Oh, does he? He sure does.
SJ Crane 25 submitted lyrics from Peggy's rap.
I love it.
Oh my God. Hey, Bobby, it's your birthday. That's right. That's right. I served you cake. I'm Peggy. Pull your leggy.
It's so good. Right after they crash Dale's van, and she's still just like, boom, served you cake, bitch. Hello, friends. I'm Bob Dole, seeing those big, beautiful feet cracking eggs. Oh,
Bob
and
Dole.
One of my favorites from Ricky Rose. Windmill! Come on, Hank, windmill! We are not out until you see us windmill.
A question by Mozzie C137. Why do you think Peggy is fascinated with death? In parentheses, she has her scrapbook of death.
Yeah, you know, and she paints it as a way to be like, Hank, this is how normal people deal with death. That's not true. I don't know literally anyone who has a scrapbook of death.
Yeah, I definitely, of course, it's people are mainly women. The vast majority of women are very interested in true crime. And I think that could be, related to that. But to go so far as to scrapbook about death, to take the time to cut it out and put it into a book and then keep that book.
And then look back at it fondly like it's a scrapbook of your family memories. Like, oh, look at that soccer team. Oh, they had to eat each other.
That is very interesting that she keeps that.
It's like a crafting your anxiety.
Oh, yeah. I guess we could all do that, right now with us being in quarantine.
Yeah, just all headlines of like COVID deaths. That'd be awful. That would be terrible.
No, that's too much.
That's too much. It's too scary. So thank you everyone for submitting those. We're so glad everybody had something amazing to say about our girl Peg.
Thank you.
Her.
Yeah. Love her.
And massive thank you to Kathy. That was more than we could have ever asked for, and we are so honored.
Never in my life could I have imagined.
I know.
Never.
I know. Back in August? Come on. Wasn't even on my radar.
No. In my mind, we had a better chance of getting Mike Judge than Kathy Najimy. I don't know why I think that. I think she's just so elevated in my mind. So
because we love Peg so much.
We love Peg and we love Kathy.
Of course.
Golly.
All right, everyone. We will be back to our regularly scheduled episodes next week. But for now, please enjoy this incredibly special episode. And please send us any kind of messages or thoughts about it. We cannot wait to blast this all over the internet. Oh, I just can't wait.
And get out there and let's make that King of the Hill reboot happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. God, I can't believe she said it. Yeah, get out there. To-do list. Let's make that happen. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Follow us on Instagram. We want to hear more of your comments and listener stories. Email them to us at hello@hoyepod.com. And call us and leave a voicemail. Our phone number is Funk30 Firm with a U, FURM. Number is on our Instagram.
Yeah,
I don't have it memorized.
You can do this. We believe you can do this.
Yeah, you just look at, like, if you pull up the numbers on your phone, the letters are on the numbers, right? I guess I should double check. Yeah, there they are. And if I die, it's okay. So I can tell you right now, it's 386-530. That part was easy. 387-6. Funk 30 Firm with a U.
That's it. That's the number. Listen, everybody, have an excellent Tuesday or whatever day you're listening to this. And we will be back at ya next Tuesday. We love you. Thank you for all your support. And until next time.
Oh, and thank you, Alexa.
Oh, no. Yes. Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you, Alexa. And
until next time.
Till next time.
Via
Condios.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, oh, yeah. Peggy Hill.
Peggy Hill.
Sweaty.
We did it, Jack.
We got Najimy.
Got Najimy.